Hey guys, welcome back to Open It and Play. This is Mike, and today we're going to be looking at the X-Men 97 Marvel's Rogue figure, and we're going to be comparing it to an oldie but a goodie, the Marvel Legends X-Men Marvel's Rogue figure, which is the same name basically, except for the 97. Okay, there's actually another version of Rogue that I think it came out between these two. And I actually used that other Rogue for my current X-Men display. But I bought this one way back in the day. Then I decided I didn't really want the metallic style paint job. And I got the other one for the more vibrant colors. But I got this one because actually I saw it cheap and I thought it might be worth something in the future, because the Rogue figures sell out quickly, and I also thought that it might have a better head sculpt, but as we're gonna see, I'm not really impressed with the head sculpt finally, so I think I prefer this one's head sculpt overall. But yeah, so if we look at this figure first, you can see the back of the package here. I got this one at Toys R Us in Japan. You can see the other figures in the series and the little sticker in Japan to show details in Japanese. But we'll get her out of the package and take a look at her accessories first. And she does have only a couple of accessories you can see here. So she has the gloveless hand and a regular punching fist. So those are the only two accessories you're going to be getting, sadly. I hope my fingernails are clean enough for you guys today. I'm not sure what you guys think. Man, that yellow shows up really bright on my screen, but I don't know if it looks that bright to you guys. So, okay, and we get Rogue out. So this Rogue, she does have the aesthetic of the cartoon, so she has the green jacket instead of the brown jacket which we had on this one. So let's pop her out. Okay, this is what she looks like fresh out of the package, and you can see she's got this kind of different sculpted on parts for her boots. I think that's a little more functional than this one, which is loose and wobbly. But yeah, this one, if you like the X-Men cartoon, this is going to probably be your bread and butter, your ideal version of the figure. Okay, and we're going to take a look at her. Well, sorry, I think I didn't show all the way around, but you can see these are actually sculpted on too, so it does have these little bumps on the figure's leg. That's a nice detail. You can probably tell the paints don't really match. This version and this version, this is a harder plastic, so sadly the paints don't really match. They should have done a much better job on matching the paints, but there's always something with Marvel Legends, right? But anyways, if we look at her posability, geez, that is tight. Okay, her head is on the usual hinge. Whoa. Sorry, her head is on the usual hinge and bull peg, so she can look down a whole heck of a lot, and she can look up quite a decent amount because this hair is softer, and the sculpt does allow for her to look up. But you can see the head here, and let me know what you think. I thought her part with her eyes looks a little bit weird, but maybe that's just me. It kind of came across as sort of off looking to me, but it's not terrible. I think it's a pretty nice version of her head, but I do prefer the details on the other one for our Rogue. So, but yeah, and we'll take a look at her posability beyond that. So she can look, no, sorry, she can bend her arms up really, really high to the point where it actually looks like a bowl for her shoulder. And they did a good job to have this green inside here, so you won't see the gap in the jacket like you see on a lot of Marvel figures. Okay, and of course her arm will go all the way around. It is kind of clicky, so that might not be to a lot of people's liking. She does have the single jointed elbows because of this system they're using with this jacket, like transitioning into her arm. And then this is on a swivel with a hinge for her elbow. And then the default hand is actually the one holding, it's kind of weird, but it's holding her extra glove, but then she also comes with her extra glove on. So we might want to switch that around. I'll switch that around just to give you an idea how it looks. So it should be kind of like this. So, but okay, and then going on to her chest, she does have a diaphragm joint. You get a little bit of side to side, very little to the front, and a little bit more to the back. Then she has this loose belt that sits on here. You can get a look at the belt. It is very simple, but her legs will kick up really high, so that's kind of a good design. There's enough of a gap that she can kick up quite high, better than 90. She does have the swivel at the thigh, thigh cut, and her double jointed pinless knees will get you back that far. And there is no boot cut, so that stinks, but that's very common on Marvel Legends female figures, right? Okay, and she does have the usual hinge and ankle pivot, and again, this is kind of a clicky one, so it might be hard to get her into the pose you want. Okay, I'm gonna put her back here, maybe with Kingpin for now, and we'll take a look at her after we get this other gal out of the package. Come on, stand. Okay. Oh, by the way, I didn't mention it, but if you were wondering, this is what... Jeez, that does not want to focus. I gotta put more things in my hand so it'll focus. Still not focusing. There we go. So this is what that bit of the glove looks like. I guess it was this one. So they just fit over like that. Sorry, it's hard to get it to focus, and it's kind of a cloudy day here, so that probably doesn't help much. Okay, let's move on to the older figure. So that is this one in kind of the classic, dare I say, Marvel Legends box. This is from Days of Yore, so this one is going to look pretty outdated in some ways. Okay, it's 2016, it says here on the bottom. So you can probably, well, maybe you can't tell, but yeah, I got it in Japan. You can see up there. So the sides of the box look like this, and the back looks like this. And this is from the Juggernaut Build-A-Figure wave. Okay, and the top of the box is just this X-Men logo. Okay. So if we get her out, you can see she does come with the Build-A-Figure Juggernaut's leg. I think that's his, it's his left leg, it appears, but we'll get her out and we'll see what's going on with this figure. Whoops. This one will open from the side because the bottom is taped up. Okay, and there she is in the package, and we'll be able to contrast her with the other one very soon. The accessories, you can see this Juggernaut Build-A-Figure piece. Okay, it's an enormous leg, but yeah, we do have a better Juggernaut now, so this thing is probably not going to be in high demand anymore. Missed my window of opportunity to sell that, but and she does come with this hand, which is identical to the other hand, except a much darker skin tone on this one. And here is the Rogue in the package. We'll get her out of there. She does have the kind of metallic paint job. Okay. She also has this part, which is kind of keyed and glued in, which sort of doesn't hold up well because it does look a bit awkward how it sits here. But if you ask me, her face is prettier than this newer one. I just feel this one's a little bit odd, but probably because they're going for the kind of manga, sort of semi-manga style of that newer cartoon. Boy, it is hard to get her to stand. Why is it so hard for her to stand? Okay, sorry about that. Okay, I shouldn't have been focusing on that. Anyway, with this gal, you can see a lot of the same details, the shininess, the buttocks. No, but it really does look like, I think they use most of the same mold other than the thing with the legs. So here's the part that I talked about earlier. You can see these are kind of odd. They just sit on here and they slide down very often. And this part should fit down lower. But I suppose if you glue it, it might be a better fit. But it's not really the best design, I think. Okay. And what we've got here for the figure herself, we'll check her posability. She's got the head that will... Wow. Okay. So she doesn't have a hinge because this is such an old figure. I'll show you what she looks like. So she has really primitive tech where it's just a ball joint, but that'll give you almost no options for how to move the figure. I mean, move it. She can look up, not at all. She can look to the side, and she does have a little bit of attitude. That's one good thing, but okay. And her arms will go up, but not as far up as the more modern figure. And we'll go all the way around. She has no bicep cut like the other one. And her elbows will function in the same way where she has this swivel and hinge. Oops. Okay, and her gloves on this are almost the same too. I think she's decent for being an old figure, but the head part is the worst part for the articulation. As far as her diaphragm joint, you can have her go side to side, basically the same as the other one, forward almost not at all, and backwards more. So yeah, I think this is the same sculpt or mold that they're using. She can kick up, but it's not quite as high as the other figure. She does have the thigh cut, and she has double jointed pinned knees that will get you, sorry if I can get this stuff out of the way. It looks like it doesn't really get out of the way, so that's gonna limit our posability. We get you about that far. Okay, and again, no boot cut. So her ankles will hinge and pivot. Okay. Yeah, some people might like the metallic shine. I don't know the kind of darker colors. I wish that her yellow was brighter, but I do like the metallic shine okay. It's just, I don't know, I'd prefer a little bit brighter yellow with it, so. But okay, and I think some people will probably be wondering, so what does it look like if we swap the heads? This one, the head comes off really hard. If we try to swap the heads, this one does sit a little bit low, but it doesn't look too bad. You could probably modify it just a little bit to make it a little bit of a better fit. But yeah, it looks okay. And this one, is this gonna work or is it gonna look really goofy? This one fits on like this. So the skin tones don't exactly match, but I do think it will be hard for most people to notice. But yeah, that is what she looks like. You can see a big gap there in the back because of the difference in the hair. So how about this lady looking up? She can look up a little bit, but not a whole heck of a lot. And down can get really unnatural and crazy, right? But that's kind of to be expected. All right. Yeah, so which rogue do you like? I suppose aesthetically, I like the yellows. The green jacket, I'm kind of neutral on. Either way is okay. Brown jacket, green jacket. But I am a comic book guy, so brown is probably more accurate as far as I know from the instances I know. But yeah, which one is your rogue? So you can see, I guess that looks like maybe they toned down some parts too. But maybe not there. It's pretty similar looking. But yeah, this part is definitely superior. It looks pretty cheap, but if they painted it well, it would be superior. This one, they just flop around constantly, so it is very annoying. Maybe some glue might help with that. But okay, thanks guys for joining me this look at the two rogues, competing rogues. And you know what? I forgot again. I forgot to measure the figures. Trying to measure them every review, so let's see what we can get on these figures. The new rogue stands to the top of her hair about here. Sorry, whoops. I'll do that one more time. The package is in the way. Top of her hair about here. So if we see that, it's about 6 1/8 inch or about 15.5 centimeters if we go across to over here. Okay, and the old one from 2016. Okay, it looks like she's gonna stand. Geez, I lost focus, sorry. I'll do that one more time. Hopefully the focus will transition. Come on, focus. Okay. Yeah, it's basically the same height, so you're gonna get 6 1/8 inches. Okay, thank you guys. Sorry this ran a little bit long. I wanted to do these two figures for quite a long time now. Maybe, geez, since last summer, so it's been more than 6 months. So, okay, anyways, I'll see you guys in the next video, and take care. Hopefully everything's going okay with you where you are. Sorry if this is like sideways or diagonal or something. It has a tendency to get moved out of the way. Okay, F ice. Bye for now.